Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Jam Demystified Edumat Hub. Okay, so this is our channel. So today we're talking about the laws of indices. So if you're preparing for JAMB, okay, or pursuit UTME of any Nigerian university, you need to master the laws of indices because they always set questions on this particular topic. So really quick, I'm going to take you guys on maybe like 4 minutes review of the laws of indices. Okay, so it's very simple. Just relax your mind and listen to the lecture. So the first law we're going to be talking about is the zero law. So this law is pretty straightforward. It says that any number raised to the power 0 is equals to 1. Okay, any number raised to the power 0 is equals to 0, but there's an exception. So any number raised to the power 0 is equals to 1. So you have a raised to the power 0 is 1, you have 15 raised to the power 0 is 1. So but there's a number that does not obey this law. The number is 0. So 0 to the power 0 is not equals to 1. Okay, it's not equals to 1. It's undefined. It's undefined. Okay, it does not have a particular answer. But any other number apart from 0, okay, is equals to that is raised to the power 0 is equals to 1. Okay, so if you have, even if the term is in brackets, like maybe if you have a plus 5 plus 6x, as far as everything is raised to the power 0, the final answer will be equals to 1. So any number raised to the power 0 is equals to 1. So that's the first law. So let's take the second one. So for the second one, you just have what is called the addition law. So let's take that. So this one is called the addition law. So addition law. So yeah, the addition law is very simple. When you multiply two numbers that have the same base, you just have to add the powers. For example, a raised to the power m times a raised to the power n is equals to a raised to the power m plus n. So what this law is saying is that if you have two numbers like this that are being multiplied, this a is the base, m is the power. So a is the base, n is the power, a is the base, m is the power. If you have something like 2 raised to the power x, 2 is the base, while x is the power. Okay, so 2 is base, x is power. So what this law is saying is that you just pick one of the bases, just pick one of them, then add the powers. For example, you have 10 raised to the power 3 times 10 raised to the power 2. What you do is just pick one of the 10. Since it's the same thing, just pick one. Then since you have times in the middle, just add the powers. 3 plus 2, that will be 10 raised to the power 5. Okay, so addition law in indices, times stands for plus. Okay, times means plus. So anytime you see times in indices, it means you should add, or you should do addition. So let's take the third law. The third law is the subtraction law, since we have the addition law. So the third law is the subtraction law. So number 3. So the third law, let's take the third law now. So the third law, so this one is subtraction law. So in this one, once you have divide, this one means you should do subtraction. Okay, just subtract the powers. So anytime you have two bases that are the same and the powers are available to you, what you should do is you just subtract the powers. So in indices, division stands for subtraction or minus. Okay, so an example is something like this. You have 3 raised to the power 4 divided by 3 raised to the power 2. Final answer should be 3 raised to the power. Since there's divide in the middle and the bases are the same, just pick only one. Then these powers 3, 4 and 2, there is divide in the middle, so just do 4 minus 2. Then 4 minus 2 will give you 3 raised to the power 2. Okay, which is 9. 3 raised to the power 2 is 9. So that's about the subtraction law. Okay, now don't forget, when you're using this law, the bases must be the same. You must have the same base. If you don't have the same base, it will not work. Okay, the bases must be the same. Then the next law is called the inverse law, negative index law. Okay, so let's just quickly have that. So it's called negative index law. So this law is very straightforward. You have a raised to the power minus n 1 over a raised to the power n. So that's the law. So let me explain it. It's very simple, very simple. This law is saying that when you have a base and the base is raised to a negative power, you can see the base is n, sorry, the base is a, and it has been raised to a negative power of n. So you have a raised to the power minus n. So what you should do is you should take the inverse of the base, then write the value of n there. So what you should do is just write 1 over, once you write 1, this negative sign will disappear. So for example, you have 5, if you have 5 raised to the power minus 3, for example, you have 5 raised to the power minus 3. What you should do first of all, write 1. Once you write 1, this negative sign will disappear. Then write over, write the same thing, but don't put the negative sign again. That's 5 raised to the power 3. Okay, that will give you 1 over 5 raised to the power 3 means 5 times 5 times 5. That will give you 125. So this answer is 1 over 125. Okay, so that's how to do the negative index law. But there's another way of writing it. There are times that they might give you something that it might not be only a base, it might be 2 numbers, like a fraction that will be raised to a negative power. So here's how you're going to do that one. If they give you something that is raised to negative power and it's a fraction, you do it like this. Let's assume you have 16 over 81 raised to power minus 2 over 4. This is how you do it. To remove this negative sign, flip this fraction, turn it upside down. So that will be 81 over 16. So once you flip it, the negative sign will disappear. So that will be 2 over 4. Then from there you can proceed, okay, using the next law I'm going to talk about. So that's how you flip. Once you flip this upside down, the negative sign disappears. You don't have negative sign there anymore. The same thing here. Once you write 1 over, this negative sign disappears. So just write the same thing, but don't include the negative sign again. That will be 5 raised to the power 3. Then you can get your 1 over 125. Okay, then let's take the next law. So the next law is that's fraction law. So the next law will be the fraction law, and this fraction law will help us to evaluate square roots, cubes, and other values like that. So let's just quickly have the fraction law. Now if you want to do the fraction law, you have to remember something very important. So you have, let's take an example. So the fifth law. So the next law is the fractional index law. Okay, fractional index law, like when you have a base that is raised to a fractional power, like you have a raised to power m over n. So you can see that the base a has been raised to a fractional power. This is the power here, and it is in fractional form. So how will you do this? So it is equals to, very simple, this denominator, that's one at the bottom part, will form a root sign. So this n, the one at the lower part, will be here. This a, the base, will be inside here, while the m will be outside like this. Okay, so that's how you evaluate that. So you have a root sign a, this a will be inside the square root sign or the root sign, n will be outside, m will be here. So look at this example. You have, so let's take an example. So if you have 8 raised to power 2 over 3, okay, if you follow this formula here, you have your root sign, 8 will be inside here, okay, this is your root sign, this is your root sign, then 3 will be here, then 2 will be outside like that. Then to finish it up, this sign here means cube root of 8. Cube root, that means the number that you multiply 3 times, that will give you 8. The same number that you multiply 3 times, that will give you 8. The number is 2. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So everything in this bracket here is equals to 2. Then the one outside, this 2 outside, then 2 raised to the power 2 give you 4 as the final answer. So that's how you use the fractional law. So irrespective of what you are given, just make sure you try to follow this formula here. Follow this formula here. The one at the lower part will form the root sign, the base will be inside here, the m will be outside here. Then let's take the last law. So the last law is the product law. So the last law is the product law. Okay, this one is product law. So if you are doing product law, just remember that power can multiply power. It's possible for power to multiply power. Okay, once you remember this, you don't have any problem anymore. So this is what the law looks like. This is what it looks like. So you have a is to the power m n. So this is a power here. This one is also power. So both of them can multiply. So it will be a is to the power m times n. That will give you a is to the power mn. So pretty straightforward. So it's very, very simple. So if you have something like this, maybe 2, you have 2 raised to the power 2 y. This 2 can multiply this y. That will be 2 raised to the power 2y. If you have 3 raised to the power 2 raised to the power 3, this will be 3 raised to the power 2 times 3. That will give you 6. Okay, so that's all about that. So those are the laws of indices. So please try and like and share our channel, subscribe, it keeps us going. Please just subscribe to the channel if you enjoy our videos and prepare very well for your exam. God bless you. Thank you for watching.